Patrick, welcome to Scott King's Middle Playground.
Thank you for having me, man. I'm stoked. This is fun.
Random coffee question before we get going.
Yes.
I was told this at my last job,
Yeah.
where these people I was working with, they had lived in Japan for like 4 years, and they basically said the way that the coffee growers in like Latin America and Africa work is that they will ship the best beans they find to Japan, keep the second best ones, and the third best beans to America. Have you heard that before, or do you know if there's any validity behind that?
I haven't heard that. I mean, I don't think there's probably... I mean, look, like in terms of coffee buying in general, it very much depends on the region and then the farm specifically. I don't believe that's the case, because a lot of the time people will buy like coffee futures.
Yeah.
They're buying like what the farm will produce in X years or next year or whatever, and they're paying like a price ahead of time because they have a good relationship with the farmer, they trust them, or they've been told that like that farmer's really so I doubt very seriously.
Yeah.
I think that honestly sounds like kind of crazy and corrupt.
Yeah. I bet that happened at one farm,
Yes.
and she heard it at
Yes.
one coffee shop
I
in
think
Japan,
so.
and then now it's like that is
Yes.
true indefinitely.
I also think there is...
Is this you? Okay, cool. I thought the alarm was going back off at
Oh
the
my
studio
God.
again. Is there no water in there?
Yeah, I forgot to put one.
I literally
my
thought the alarm was
God.
going off in the studio again. I was like, no way.
My bad. That'll be a great first ad.
Yeah. That's like the teasers right there. She's like, oh shit, we started a fucking fire.
What just happened?
Yeah.
I'll put some water in it real quick.
Cool, yeah, that sounds good. All right, so what kind of water? I'll let you answer when you get back.
What kind of water? So I have played with different kinds of water, like water packets, like Third Wave and stuff like that. This one is called Lotus water, and it's different minerals. If I can get the thing to turn back on. This is a new kettle, and I haven't figured it out. Probably need to unplug it and plug it back in. Actually, can you hit that switch for me?
backside.
Yeah, there's like a switch. Thank you. That was the most alarming error, though.
Dude, that was intense. Well, like we had a bunch of like on Valentine's Day, we had a security issue, and I called like every single person on the team, and there's like 7 of us, and only one person didn't pick up, but I feel like they would have if they were here. And so I was like, holy shit, I actually think somebody's breaking into the studio right now. Which like we've had so many alarm issues just because people forget or whatever.
Yeah.
Like a door is slightly ajar or something. And so I had told the security company already it was a false alarm without knowing it was a false alarm. And then I'm like sitting at dinner, I'm like, oh fuck. We have to get that sorted ASAP.
Yeah.
And eventually found out that it was an employee who just fucked up.
Well, alarm systems, man, I don't know. I'm so klutzy, I would mess it up somehow. I don't even understand my own directions. So hopefully I did. Yes, it looks like it's working now. So Lotus water is what I'm using for the water recipe, and this is I think this one is by Prima Coffee, is who came up with this recipe. But the thing is, like, it's just Lotus water is literally just it's this company that sells sodium, magnesium, potassium, calcium. Almost forgot the last mineral there. And so basically it's just whatever parts per million, 12 parts per million, 25 parts per million. You know, you're just dropping little droplets in to kind of add back to that. So you start with a blank canvas with distilled water or reverse osmosis water, and then you add minerals back to that. And actually what's interesting is that when I was living in Portland, I remember the water was so good there, you know? But I remember, you know, like at the time I was like working on my house, and I was like, ooh, we're going to install reverse osmosis water. It's the best. You know, that's what you get. You're like, I want the best water. So I got this, set it all up, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, man, my coffee doesn't taste that great. I wonder why. It's because there's no minerals in it. So a lot of the customers that maybe will come and buy coffee from me too, I'm like, I will ask them, like, what water are you using? Just to make sure. And man, you'll get better water out of your tap to make coffee than you will from reverse osmosis.
Yeah.
It's just completely flat. There's nothing in it.
Yeah. And it's just, is that because it has nothing to like connect to, like to the coffee? And,
There's
like,
no minerals.
take
There's
flavors out of?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If there's no minerals, the coffee solubles you're extracting have nothing to connect with, nothing to bind with. So it's just like a flat, flavorless kind of. So if you are using reverse osmosis water, folks out there, and you're wondering why your coffee's bad, it's not the roaster, it's you. You're the problem.
Like
So
Taylor.
get I mean, honestly, like if you have reverse osmosis, that's great for drinking. Just I always tell people get like a cheap Brita filter or something and use that for
For your coffee?
Yeah, for sure.
If you don't want to add stuff back to
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I think doing the packets of minerals and stuff, that's so cool. That's like a level of nerdy most people don't want to do.
Yeah.
And it's completely understandable. It's legitimately extra. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't go out of my way to drink water like that. I have a giant, commercial filter. BWT makes commercial filters for like cafes, and so I use theirs, and it's like, I think magnesium focused. It's really good the coffee it produces is fantastic. And then at home, I typically just use Brita. And nothing special. I just don't want to drink chlorine.
Yep.
And you're good.
Yeah.
But if I'm playing around, if I'm like cupping maybe, or if I'm trying a new coffee and I'm like, I really want to get everything I can out of this, then I might, play with some coffee water.
Yeah, and so for people who don't know, like there's a bunch of different ways to dial in a recipe of coffee, right?
Yes.
So you have like the grind settings, you have the water temperature, you have the style of beans, you have the process, and then all the way to the water, which has a huge impact on it.
Yes. And I would say that honestly the most important, or well, arguably the most important, is the grind. So you want to make sure you have a good grinder, because if you're using a cheap blade grinder, the particle distribution, or the basically the difference between each granule of coffee that you ground, if it's giant boulders and tiny little fines, you're not going to get a good balanced cup of coffee, right? That's what a crappy blade grinder will produce. But if you have like a burr grinder, you're getting, the particle distribution is less and less and less. So the coffee granules you're producing are more and more similar. You're going to produce some fine, some like coffee dust essentially from it going through the grinder too. But that's normal. Even bougie grinders do that. But basically, you need to spend at least some amount of money to get a good burr grinder so you have a good cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And after that initial investment, I think it's water. Use tap or Brita. If you have good tap water, of course. Austin's pretty hard. The water here is pretty hard. Yeah. So I'd probably suggest Brita.
Just tastes bad too.
It's not great. It's better than reverse osmosis, shockingly, but still, it's not great. But everything downstream of that, I think, are almost like personal preference to a great degree. Biggest thing is do I want to do a pour over? Do I want to do a French press? Those are all personal preference, right? How much money you want to spend on your kit? But I think the initial investment needs to be in the grinder, and then everything after that, the world is your oyster. Have fun. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The water thing's easy.
I got the Fellow Ode a few years ago, which is like a pretty expensive grinder, but I found out the hard way that it's so pour over oriented. It literally can't do like espresso shots.
It can't really.
No, and I was like, oh my god, what the fuck is the point of this grinder? How can this $400 grinder not do both things? And I had like the Encore by, I forget the Italian company. Yeah, I had that. So then I got that again when everything got ruined just recently. Because I'm like, I don't want to deal with the Ode again.
It's a great grinder.
Yeah, and that one can at least run the gamut a little bit better.
It can. It can just run the gamut, period.
Yeah.
Whereas, it's so true. The Ode, it's actually funny. That was, so my first grinder was the Breville Smart grinder, which is old school. And it was fine, but it wasn't that smart. It wasn't that great. It was a conical burr grinder. Conical is like where it's one big giant burr, and it kind of rotates this way. Flat burrs kind of go. I should have brought some burrs, actually. Why didn't I bring burrs? What a
throw
fail.
it in the B-roll.
Yeah, throw it in the B-roll. I do have a conical burr grinder with me, a hand grinder that I use actually for pour over. Oh, it's so pretty. By Easy Presso. So I can show that. But so like that particular grinder is so good, but it can only really do pour over. And it's because of the burrs, and also because of how they built that dial. They don't allow you to go past a certain level of fineness. And also that motor can't really handle it. At least from what I know. You can change the burrs out.
Yeah, I thought about doing that, and then I was like, I just do pour overs anyway. Like the espresso thing I have is like the hand. It's like a totally like hand pressure based one. It's super sick. I think it's by Rizzo, and it's just literally like this crazy device that just puts a lot of pressure. There's no other like cartridges or anything, and you just like pop it in, and it actually makes pretty nice espresso.
Lever machine.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I really like that. But I was like, I'm not that committed to the game, and I had my other one anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I totally feel that. I mean, I do have some burrs if you do want to try it out. I do have some burrs you can use to do
Just throw it
espresso
in.
with.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, I have some MSP multi-purpose burrs that can produce it. Those burrs are so good for the blades. Just to be clear, just so people know, the burrs are the blades used to crush the coffee in the grinder. But those burrs are so good specifically for pour over.
Sick.
So, but that's okay. You got a Baratza, and that's a fantastic grinder.
Yeah. What is the difference with these like vertical pour overs versus like a V2?
Oh, you mean like the Hario?
Yeah.
Oh, great question. So, these are fun. I just got these like the other day. So this is by Café. Ooh, sorry, I'm hitting this thing. This is by Café, which is a Japanese company, just like Hario, and they produce really amazing coffee filter papers. And they also produce other fun coffee kit stuff, like different kinds of pour-over mechanisms. This one is called, I think it's called the T27 Deep like cone or something like that. It's got an interesting name. I would say like a very Japanese name. So this is really, really great at doing small doses of coffee. So basically, if you wanted, let's say it's the afternoon, you want a little pick-me-up, you don't want too much, just enough. If you were to put this in a 01 Hario, which is the, and I should have brought that. So many things I should have brought. But basically it is, for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, it's a cone shaped, just like this, except it's much wider. And so what that does is the coffee bed itself, it's going to be more spread out. And so with this narrow one, if I do 8 or 10 grams, it's still a pretty deep bed of coffee, right? So that means your water is passing through more coffee, which means you have the opportunity to extract more from the coffee. And so with the Hario V60, which is the tried and true, I would call it the GOAT of coffee pour over. So, personally, I think it's the best ever. I would say that this is in the top 5 probably, but for like small doses.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it, because we're going to do like small little, like 8, 10 grams, nothing crazy. So if you're doing like 15 plus grams of coffee, Hario is great. For anything smaller than that, you just want a tiny little cup of coffee, like real cute in this glass,
Dude,
for example.
I love that. Yeah. Because I'll do just like an 8 gram in the Hario.
It doesn't work well.
It doesn't work super well.
No, it doesn't
but
work
I just don't
well
want
at
that
all.
much caffeine. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I would get these. They're called Café, CAFEC, and they also make, in my opinion, like besides Hario, the best papers for the V60 and also for other coffee kit pieces, flat bottom as well.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Okay, so one thing I've been working through with my timing is I feel like mine goes too fast, but I also don't exactly know the timing. So I'll just like walk through what I generally do and let me know how we're doing. So I'll just do 16 to 1. 16 grams.
1 to 16?
1 to 16. And then I'll do 16 grams of coffee as well. Not 20 usually, just because again, I'm a little bit more sensitive to caffeine. And so I'll do like set it, get the bloom. I'll do like 45 to 50 grams for the bloom. I'll let that kind of like almost dry out. And then I'll usually go like 100 grams and then I'll go 100 grams. And I do the 100 grams by like just like kind of like writing A, B, C, D, E, F, G through it. And that usually it takes me like 45 seconds to do 100 grams. And then it kind of sits for a while and goes through. Then I'll do the next 100. And again, that only stands there for like, but by the time that all the way goes through, usually is about like 2.5 to 3 minutes. I'm usually aiming for like 3:30, I feel like, for a lot of the recipes I'm doing. And so I feel like it's going too fast, but I don't know. Does that mean I'm supposed to like do like more iterations of less grams at a time, or like?
Yeah, well, I would say it really depends on the coffee. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you might have some coffees that where you're pouring and you're like, man, that was done so fast. This is probably going to taste terrible, and it tastes great.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it really just depends on the coffee. I use a very simple recipe because I want people to not think as much about the time and mostly about the recipe. So what I do is a 1 to 15.
Okay.
And so a 1 to 15 ratio is like for every, gram of coffee, you're doing 15 grams of water, right? So I do 20 grams of coffee to 300 grams
Which makes it way easier to keep that in your head. Yeah.
So much easier.
Yeah.
And I really like that ratio. So 20 grams of coffee, 300 grams of water. Amazing. It always comes out great. And I don't do multi-pour. I pour 2 times. Okay. I pour the bloom.
Yeah.
And then I fill it up all the way. I swirl. I let it drain. I fill it up again all the way. I swirl. I let it drain. That's it.
Okay.
I feel like we can faff around a lot. It's coffee.
Yeah.
You know, we're already getting all these silly gadgets and we're doing this. Like, I think to make coffee as approachable as possible, you have to make it as easy as possible. So you're reading these from other coffee nerds who are like, do this and maybe use a chopstick and stir in the middle and all this kind of bullshit. And for me, I'm just kind of like, nah, I'm not going to do that. You can. And what I do at Kyoko Coffee and what I do for everyone, if I'm doing it at my house, it doesn't matter where I'm doing it. I'm doing it the same way every single time. It's repeatable. It's easy. It always produces great coffee.
Yeah.
I would say the grinding is the most important part. And with depending on the coffee, you might want to go sometimes finer, sometimes not as fine. And so you can kind of play around with that, but I think there's always kind of a range. I think for me, because I'm swirling, so anytime you swirl, what you're doing is you're causing the water and the coffee to kind of come up and then resettle. And when the coffee comes up and then resettles, what's happening? Well, all the fines, the super small particles of coffee are coming to the very bottom. So it's making it go slower, which is great. So if you have a good grinder, you're not producing that many fines anyways. Okay. So like with this, for example, I'll grind, and then I'll take it out and I'll pour it in and I'll let it bloom. And I always do 3 times the amount of coffee for the bloom. So if it's 20 grams of coffee, I'm pouring 60 grams of water and I swirl. And I always like to swirl because, like I said, I want to saturate all the coffee. I want to make sure everything is saturated.
And you swirl just like this, or do you actually use something?
Oh, no, I just use my hand. Okay. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't need to faff around that much. Let's make it as easy as possible. No chopsticks. The only time I would say, you know, like, for people that have, like, old school coffee makers, and you're like, listen, all this sounds fun. I've got an old school coffee maker. Like, teach me how to make like coffee better in my Mr. Coffee. So you need to have, once again, most important thing is you need to have a decent grinder. So if you've got a decent grinder and you just have a coffee, you know, Mr. Coffee or something like that at home, or let's say, for instance, you have, what's the old school metal?
The Malpot, like the Italian pots that are like
the
milk pots.
What is it? The Danish? Is it Danish or is it oh gosh, Techniform? Do you know what I'm talking? Okay, it's like is this like the kind of podcast where you can be like, somebody's Googling it and pulls it up on screen? We can show that in post.
Ryan can Google it real quick if you want. Yeah.
So the Techniform, I think it's called a Mocha Master.
Mocha. Okay, I knew it was with an M. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were. Yeah, we were both heading there. So
but it's like MOKA. It's not like MOCHA.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Exactly. So with that that's a gorgeous machine, and people love to get it. But like, it just kind of sprays water down into like this weird angle, and it doesn't do a great job of getting all the coffee. So for like a Mr. Coffee or for something like that, what you do is, you take a spoon after it immediately sends out water, and you go stir it up. Make sure you get everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the only time I would tell you, go get a spoon, go get a chopstick. No, just use your hands, bro. Swirl. Try to make it as easy as possible, because we're all waking up. We all got shit we got to do. We're not going to look for a spoon. We're not going to get special coffee water. We need to get it from our Brita, get it from our fridge. We need to get going. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I think a big part of getting people into comfortable with third wave coffee and like getting super ultralight roasts, or even just getting something kind of weird like a natural or an anaerobic or something weird, is like telling them, hey, you know, it's actually not that hard. There's just a bunch of nerds that are trying to tell you it's really difficult, but it's super chill.
They create like a massive barrier to entry.
Yeah.
Because they want to feel smart.
Yes. Well, not even, I don't even know if they want to feel smart. It's just like at the very beginning of, I don't know. we have a tendency to just for people that have a lot of knowledge to go further and further down a rabbit hole, and sometimes they don't put on their teacher hat and go, okay, but what would make the most sense for everyone? I could teach you how to code, or I could just tell you, hey, that's simple, go use ChatGPT to make that for you, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? That's maybe not the best example and a little bit fraught these days, but you know what I mean? You just try to make it easy for people. Yeah. As easy as you can. Yeah. Remove the barrier to
it. It is such a skill, though, to make something simple so other people can understand.
Yeah. I in tech, that's what I did for 15 years. Okay. Was training. Okay. So coming into coffee, honestly, a big part of what I really focused on doing is helping people understand that having good coffee is not that hard, and it's actually a lot of fun. And I spend... when people buy bags of coffee from me, I will literally grind coffee and say, try to match this on your grinder. Because people, just knowing where to start is hard. I mean, try finding what you should grind a coffee at online. Yep. It doesn't exist. Yeah. Literally. Yeah. Right? There's recipes for people who put oh, we really love this at 1 to 17 and bloom for 25 seconds. And then I'm shut up. Yeah. No, you know what I mean?
The hard part with me with those too is that I don't think about what I did the day before to the next day. So then I'm trying to compare notes and I'm I forgot to write down my fucking book, or I'm looking at Instagram. And it's I can't even do the consistent comparison to see what I like. And then by the time I realize I've tried it a few times, the bag's gone, and I'm all right, cool, now we're cooked.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that should only happen to you with espresso, because espresso is where you're dialing it in, and you have to dial it in for 18 grams or 20 grams because that's the serving you use. And if you're dialing it in for less, well, then you're using a smaller basket, and you have to be, and that's why espresso is such an expensive sport. And it is a sport. Coffee is a sport. Yeah. It's the only sport I sport. I don't do other sports. It's just coffee. Yeah.
So do you do cupping competitions and stuff?
Okay. When I say sport, I mean I'm competitive with myself. Okay. Cool. I super do not care about coffee competitions. Yeah. And I do think that coffee competitions are for ultra winkers, in my opinion. I really think it is a wink-tastic, stupid thing to do. I think all the things, I mean, the education that comes from it can be cool, but otherwise I think it is just so fucking stupid. Yeah. I don't think there's any value in it. The people are doing it for themselves and so that they can do better in life, and that's great. That part of it is absolutely a sport, and I kind of dumb. It's not valuable for anyone else in the world. No one cares. Yeah. I don't care. When people tell me they're training and testing for their latte art competition, I'm do your customers give a shit about that swan you just made? No, they just want to make sure that flat white tasted like fucking fire. Yeah. I have poured some of the shittiest latte art and also some of the best latte art, and I will get the same comment back. Oh, it's so beautiful. And it honestly, they would probably never come back if it didn't taste good. Because no one cares. Sure. The most important thing is that the coffee is good. And that your head's in the right place. And that you care about experience, and all that kind of stuff. But no, I think cupping, and honestly, what's really funny about cupping, segue, this is what ADHD does.
Also, if you could describe it for people, that'd be helpful as well.
Okay, yeah. So cupping
is just a really hard way to drink coffee.
And it sounds like
because there's grounds in it.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm not an expert on cupping. I've only done it a handful of times, and I honestly don't really like it. I think it's kind of a silly thing to do. Yeah. Here's why I don't. I mean, I'm sure there's some value in it. I don't like cupping because let me explain what it is. Sorry. You get these basically cup-like bowls, wider than these, and they have a certain geometric shape that is supposed to help with the aroma. Because, your olfactory senses influence so much of the taste that you're getting from the coffee. So in any case, you grind to, I would say, kind of it's all over the map in terms of what people suggest you grind out. But let's just say medium. Some people go medium fine. Some people do medium coarse. Let's just say medium fine generally, I think, is what people grind at. And you might like, well, what is medium fine? Well, just don't worry about that for right now. It's not important.
I'm going to go with 12 on my grinder.
Yeah, sure. Right? And so that's the other thing that's so annoying is every grinder has different set. There's no uniformity across the board. That's why I give people samples of what I would grind
This
the
is what it
coffee
looks
at.
like.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is what it looks like, because you have no fucking idea. Anyway, so you take the coffee grounds and you put it in the bottom, like for each of the coffees that you're tasting, and you pour now water temp again, all over the place, what people recommend. Some people go boiling, some people go 200, some people go 204. It's all over the place. I will just pour it like 204 degrees, which is what I also use for pour over. I try to keep it pretty uniform. So you literally put the grounds directly in the cup. It's not in a filter or anything like that. You pour it directly into the cup. You pour water and you let it sit. And you basically let it sit for about, most people will wait anywhere from like 7 to 12, sometimes even up to 15 minutes. Just depends. There's no uniformity here, like I said. What does my turtle think? And so after that, you take some spoons, specifically meant for cupping coffee, cupping spoons. See, this is the This is faffing around.
Yeah.
Okay, this is truly faffing around. This is not what normal people do. And then you take the coffee grounds that float to the top, and kind of the degassed coffee and all of basically the slurry, if you will, on top, and you kind of take it off. You scrape it off and you dispose of it, and then you sip it, and you slurp it, kind of like I think maybe the closest comp would be like wine tasting. Do you know when you go to taste wine, you stick your whole nose in there, kind of like whiskey tasting too, and you're getting it in your olfactory senses, so you have it in your nose, and then you take a sip, and then you do this. Sorry if anyone has misophonia, and you that's the fear.
My wife has it. Yeah.
So sorry.
Yeah.
So sorry, Mrs. King.
We'll bleep that out.
Bleep that out. And so you kind of slurp it, and it trying to cover your palate as much as you can to get all of those flavor. Here's the thing about cupping. I have cupped some coffees and hated them, and then I have done them on pour over and really liked them. I find that maddening. And so I tend to just go straight to pour over. I will cup them, but it is like a data point. It is not the data point.
Yeah.
So,
I've only done it a few times, and every time I'm just like, damn, I have so many fucking grounds in my mouth right now.
Did you
We removed it, but it was hard to get all of them.
Yeah, it can be tough.
Yeah.
It's actually funny. I lost my cupping spoons the last time I was doing a cupping, and I had bought these tablespoons from Muji. Do you know Muji?
Mm-mm.
Muji's a Japanese retailer, and this is my plug for Muji. Why they should give me money. They make like awesome products. They're basically like the better version of Uniqlo, in my opinion. But they also do like kitchenware and stuff.
Oh, sick.
I fucking love their stuff so much.
Are there local stores here? Or you just get online?
No, well, okay. So they're in New York, naturally. They used to be in San Francisco. They're not anymore. They closed down their store there. But they're in Portland. So they have a store in Portland and stores in New York. I think multiple stores in New York, 2 or 3. But it kind of makes sense. Lots of Japanese people, lots of Japanese culture in Portland, and obviously in Seattle as well, and then in New York. I think it was just tougher for them in where they were opened in the Bay when I was there. But cool stuff. So they have these tablespoons, and they're basically like cupping spoons. And I was like, holy shit, I basically have cheap cupping spoons here. And I just used those. It was great. Oh, yeah. So, but yeah, you have to take those big spoons and try to get off as much. That's the other thing too that I just hate. It's so much work.
It's a ton of work. Dude.
It's so much work.
It's an absolute mission.
And then to find out that I may hate it, but then actually may love it as a pour over. I'm like, why? Do you know what I mean? So I think honestly, cupping and cupping scoring and all that kind of thing, I get it, but I do kind of find it a little trite, a little dumb, like pointless almost.
Yeah.
Like your customers aren't going to have their coffee that way. They're just not going to. Yeah. You know? So just like drink it the way it's not going to be meant to drink, and then score it based off of that. I don't know. I just think like it's, once again, you just have to remove these dumb things to make it easier for people. I encourage everyone not to cup at home. It's not worth it. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna start pouring.
Yeah, let's
these
get
on
into
here.
let's get into some beans, bro.
Let's go. So, you don't have to wet the filter, by the way. James Hoffman, and if for those of you folks that don't know, James Hoffman is like kind of like YouTuber coffee god. He did some like tests a while back, basically testing to see if you could taste the pulp of the paper, and he couldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Do you have that cup?
Yeah.
Because I just need to empty.
Remember that actually.
Which was really helpful because I think everybody had just gotten used to
Just doing it because they heard it left some like fucking residue.
Well, not even. You know why I do it? Because I'm OCD and I don't like the color that the paper turns when you haven't pre-wet it. It turns this like really weird brown color, obviously because of the staining from from the paper, you know. So I don't like that. And then I also just don't like that it's doesn't stick to the sides. So it's just more of like a crazy coffee person OCD thing more than anything else.
It also, I don't like how it sits in the
It doesn't fall to the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Before. Yeah. Do one other random question.
Yeah, let's go.
When I'm doing a pour over, like I have this sensation like I shouldn't get the beans that have crawled up the sides during my second pour, but I always do anyway. Does it matter? Like, does that change?
But here's the thing. You know how to solve for that, right? Swirl, bro.
Swirl.
Just
yeah,
swirl.
True.
Just make it easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that also I don't like. That's because I'm OCD about that.
Yeah.
But you know what? My OCD ended up making it easier.
Yeah.
So that's great. Okay. So, I should have started off by saying I come bearing gifts. I did bring this for you. This is Onyx. Onyx did this awesome Valentine's thing called Love Notes. So you get 2 ounces of Geometry, 2 ounces of Monarch, which are 2 of my favorite blends that they have.
Sick.
And also some Madagascar chocolate. So give that to your lady.
Thank you so much. I
Yes,
appreciate
you're
it.
so welcome. And I also
Let's
brought
go.
you a bag of decaf.
Dude, thank you.
Because honestly, here's the thing. What I
yeah.
find now more than ever is the most valuable thing you can have, honestly, good decaf.
I believe that. Thank you. This
Yes.
is awesome. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure, homie.
Hell yeah.
This is what the decaf smells like. I buy it in bulk, obviously, so I've got a lot. It smells phenomenal.
Amazing.
It's so good, right? But
smells
before we
awesome.
do decaf, I'm going to make you drink some caffeine.
All right, I'll drink some caffeine.
And then we'll bring it down with some booze.
Yeah, I was going to say, I might start with the sake to keep it less intense.
Yeah. Get yourself some sake. So I'm gonna do a super short one. So we're gonna do just 8 grams.
Would you like some sake as well?
Yeah, let's keep it real. Let's go hard or go home, right?
All right, so we got the Toes Eyes Snow Maiden. Shout out to Zach Mahone. This is something we've been drinking for like 6 years together.
Oh, really?
Just has like the little kois on it. It's cool little.
That's really beautiful.
Cool little sake.
Oh, it smells phenomenal.
Yeah, Flower Maiden. Let's go.
Cheers, kampai.
Cheers, kampai.
Kampai, brother, kampai.
What does Kyoko mean to you also? Because I know it could be like translated a few different ways.
Well, that's the great thing about Japanese is that it could be translated into a million different ways because it's all about the kanji, right? It doesn't. So I should probably give people kind of a quick idea of like. So Kyoko Coffee, the idea was it's car culture, cars. It's like Japanese car culture and American car culture kind of colliding. You know, hot rods and all that kind of thing, like. World War II onwards, guys would always like give their cars names, right? So this is like a Japanese car. It's way too cute to be a guy's name. Okay. I'm not naming my car like Billy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's also not a Bessie or like, you know, a Beast or like, you know what I mean? Like kind of like these typical like names you would give your car that were like pretty popular. So I was like, well, it's Japanese. It's a Japanese car. Let's name it a girl. And I'll just marry her. So Kyoko. So the
It's
name,
not your baby, it's your wife.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like I am her, she is not mine. You know, I bought Kyoko in 2018 when I was living in Portland as I'm going to Home Depot and need to get lumber.
Oh, nice.
And like drywall, and I'm working on this house, and literally. I have done so much in that car. I transported a piano, which I still have, from Redding, California to Portland, Oregon in that van. It is.
Done that drive before.
It's Narnar.
Yeah, full on.
Yeah, it's.
Also, Reading's a tough place to be.
Reading is not the place to be.
It's not the place, dude. Reading is tough. It's a tough zone.
So this right here is. It smells so good. It smells so good. This is a Kenyan coffee. It's El Shaddai Coffee Estate. It's a natural. Isn't that crazy smell?
Oh yeah.
So if you look at the notes on top, yeah. Oh, there you go. It's a beautiful coffee. And by the way, we're drinking coffee from Onyx. The decaf we're going to be drinking is from Flower Child, which is one of my favorite roasters. I mean, Onyx is one of my favorite roasters in the world, and so is Flower Child. Flower Child's from Oakland, run by Preston Yoder, an incredible roaster, an awesome dude, all about ethical, fair trade, making sure farmers are paid well. I mean, Onyx is too, don't get me wrong, but he's just at a much smaller scale. And he's an incredible roaster, and that coffee is phenomenal.
So we got dark chocolate, melon, blackberry, and raisin.
Yeah, baby.
Let's go.
I know, right? Let's go. So this is only 10 grams, but you see, it fills up like half the thing, and so that's why I love these pour over the Café deep dripper here.
What scale are you using?
Oh, you know what? Scales, this is one of the areas where you can go cheap. The technology behind scale is not that important, you know? Yeah. Some people will do like the Akaya lunar scale and all these like $200 scales. I'm like, dumb.
Yeah.
I don't need Bluetooth to connect here. I don't need a smart scale to tell me when to pour next.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Honestly, I think that's just like coffee faffing around BS.
I had the plain, like the normal Hario, like very simple one for the longest time. It got annoying to me though because the buttons don't press like buttons.
Yeah, they don't.
And so I could never tell if it was working. So I did go
Yes.
with just one that had a touchscreen next because it just like it reacts when I actually press it. Because I hate buttons that don't feel like buttons. Like my speakers are like that too, and it's like, did it do it?
Which speaker? Sonos?
No, it's the
Sonos are like that too.
Brain.
Oh.
That's like a local Austin speaker.
Oh.
They're fucking amazing. Like they have a subwoofer in the speaker.
What?
They're awesome. But that's my only frustration is that like I have two of them. But
Well,
yeah.
now they know. They'll probably fix it for you.
Yeah, I've thought about like bringing it up to their team because they're locally based in Austin. Their only store is in South Congress.
So 10 grams. So I'm going to pour 30 grams of water. Oh, poured a little bit more, but that's okay. And then, like I said, swirl. It's less of an issue when you have a deep dripper than it is when you have like a really wide base like the Hario. So bring this thing all the way up. There we go. So we're gonna let it degas. Degassing, by the way, just for people that, you know, if curious, the degassing of the coffee, there's a lot of carbon dioxide trapped in the coffee beans from the roasting. And so when you see bubbles coming off the coffee, that's what we call the bloom. Because of course we have to have a special name for it, right? This is just what I'm trying to eliminate, but at the same time, it is what it is. I always say like wait a minute. Some people say wait 30 seconds or wait 45. I think, you know, look, you bought nice coffee, you have nice stuff or at least decent stuff. Like give it time to degas. You know, it's worth it. And then, honestly, just pour it. Like I said, I just fill it up. And with this 10 gram, we'll do like, I don't know, like 180. It should be fine. Or actually, we'll do like 170. And that's it. We're going to let it go down.
This is a fucking dream of a podcast for me. Like nerding out on like all my favorite shit and drinking sake. Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Home pie, bro.
Well, I just love talking about coffee, so this is always fun for me.
Okay, so this is from Flower Child, but you also you buy it in bulk too, so you have huge bags of it, and then this.
I do. Yes, okay. I'm sorry. That's why I have it in this jumper.
Yeah.
Because I was like, and then I just brought this one, and I was like, after I brought it, I was like, why did you bring so much decaf? You're literally gonna make 2 cups of decaf, and I brought like 400 grams. I don't know what I'm doing, but that's okay.
Cool. And so this is a Kenya we're about to drink.
Yep.
From Onyx. So just so people know, what is a natural?
A natural is, and so I'll just be honest with you. Like, there's a lot that I am still learning. I do not know everything. I am quite honestly an idiot savant. So I think in life, what very often you need to do is learn what you need to learn to get through that whatever shit you're going through. Do you know what I mean? And so right now I'm like, man, I really need to start focusing on, and I just started looking at the different processing methods. So natural coffees are typically when the coffee is not washed, but left out to naturally dry and like, not even, it's like kind of fermenting almost.
Yeah, I feel like it has almost like more soury, acidic sometimes, like from espresso. Is that accurate?
You know, I would say you could get some citric acid like notes. Sometimes it can be sour, but I would say a lot of the time natural coffees are going to be like what you read there, or like here's another natural that I brought, like tangerine, honey, plum, vanilla. We kind of all over. Yeah. You know, you might get dark chocolate, but you might get honey. And like blackberry or like cherry. Yes. I had like one of the cherry flavor. The first one I ever had that was natural was from my boy Benny. Shout out to Benny. And it was a fucking, he did an espresso pour, just like espresso, and then a little water glass, sparkling water. And it was so nice. Like I absolutely loved it. This is good, but it needs like 3 minutes to cool down. So I'm going to put this over here. Yes. And I think honestly, like, we'll just let it sit for a second. Did I pour all this out? So he made you an espresso with what now? It was some sort of like natural, very heavy on the cherry flavor. And I remember just being like, oh my God, this tastes like almost like a pickled cherry sweet thing going on. And I was like, what is this? Worth it. Shout out to Milktooth in Indianapolis. Oh, that's the name of the coffee? It was the name of the shop. Oh, cool. Yeah. It's a breakfast shop. It's amazing. What a great name. Love that name. Where was it? Indianapolis? Indianapolis. Yeah. Wow. Actually, one of the reasons. Random. I love that. I used to live there. Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. One of the reasons I started this podcast was to have like the head chef of that restaurant like on the podcast. We become boys, and like we're still friends to this day. Aww, I call him like the Kanye West of Indianapolis, not from like an anti-Semitic way. He's Jewish, but from like not in an anti-Semitic, but in like an artistic kind of don't give a fuck way, like working to the future. He got canceled in Indianapolis like 3 times. Like, how do you get canceled in Indianapolis? He had this amazing muralist paint his steakhouse with like 2 rabbits having sex, and like the whole fucking city blew up about it. Like it was this huge ass deal, and it was so annoying. He had to take like the rabbits down, and like it was a super famous artist, and it was like really dope, and yeah, just stuff like that. That's so interesting, right? I appreciate the ballsiness, pun intended. Yeah. But like also like I want to see a picture of this. Yeah. I can show you. I need to see what this looks like. Yeah. It wasn't very grotesque. It was just like a very much like a bunny on top of a bunny. There was no penetration showing. You know, it would have passed all of the Japanese censors. Does it even count, dude? Does it even count if there's no penetration? I can't remember the artist name, and he didn't even ask for that. He was just like, yeah, he respected her as a graffiti artist, and was like, just go do something dope, and she did. And then he like had to try and defend it, and then eventually he had to take it down. Oh man, bro, did you hear somebody just fart super loud? That's what it sounded like. That was crazy. Was that literally? That was literally the bathroom. That was nuts, dude. That was rather impressive. Yeah. I hope we keep this in the podcast. Yeah, for sure, definitely. Everything is kept in unless it's at request to be taken out. I love that you called it out. I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to, yeah. That was next level. That was wild, bro. That was truly wild. I hope he's not hit stage just like crying like outside, like he kills himself. He might have shit himself. Yeah. That is so hilarious. That's so... Oh my god. I mean, fart jokes will always be funny. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next. Want to hear from my next act? Okay, so we've had this one. I was like, we can do this. We'll save this for decaf. Cool. So what I'm going to do next is something really goofy and fun, and a lot of nerds are doing lately, and it's called soup. So what is soup? It's espresso soup. God, jeez. I like obviously didn't have look at this. I brought like 17 filters. So I'm like, what am I doing with my life right now? So espresso soup is basically you are doing like almost like a coarse grind espresso. And I think a lot of people are blowing up specific or like really stoked specifically with the espresso soup made with the OXO Rapid Brewer. Now you can do this also with like regular espresso machines, but The OXO Rapid Brew is really fucking cool.
So this is not an AeroPress or an AeroPress like
No,
similar. Okay.
This is better.
Okay.
This is better, and here's why. It can do cold brew. It can do, and I don't even like cold brew.
Bro, I've done cold brew in an AeroPress before.
It's really amazing out of this.
That's
though.
awesome.
And this is what
it takes so long too, in the
too much
small
work.
amount.
Yeah. Not worth it. This is actually not that bad.
Nice.
In terms, I think it's like 7 minutes or so. I haven't done cold brew with this one, but a lot of my friends that have done it say it's amazing. I'm like, I believe you. I'm just not a cold brew. I just don't.
I haven't drank cold brew really in like years.
It's not really my vibe, TBH. But I because mostly I think it tastes like it's coffee filtered through a dirty sock.
Which it usually is, a little cheesecloth, dirty cheesecloth.
Yeah, it honestly does really taste like that. Okay, so what's so cool about this?
It also takes all the interesting parts out of coffee out of it, right? Just like, it's just something to rip.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's like, I don't know. It's overly caffeinated for me. I like being able to have like, with this, I could have like 4 coffees. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or with the Hario, like doing a regular like V60, I could have like 2 to 3 coffees, yeah. But like with cold brew, it's like you have one. It's almost like doing pre-workout. I'm like, I don't want fucking pre-workout.
Yeah, one of my friends was just like, dude, let's just fucking do it, like a red eye the other day, and with the cold brew and espresso, and I was just like,
nope.
It was 6 a.m. We are gonna go ruck around the lake, and I was like, fuck it, I'll do it now. And I drank it over like 2 hours, so I never felt overstimmed. But it was like I knew I was playing with fire.
Yeah,
but I just fell into peer pressure on that one.
Yeah, that's brutal. Well, you learned though, didn't
you? I made it. I feel like I balanced it out. I had a big breakfast that morning before too. So, would you like any more sake?
Sure. I'll take a skosh. Thank you, my friend. So I just realized I put 10 grams in here, but I need to do 22 actually. So espresso soup, you can do 20 or 22. I'm going to do 22 because I want it to be like a pretty thick bed of coffee. This is going to be more like, I think it's like the typical portafilter for and that's what the mechanism is that you lock into your espresso machine where the coffee puck is, so the typical portafilter is like 58 millimeters, and I think this is what is the AeroPress? I'm trying to think. Probably about near the same. These are AeroPress filters, and so it's going to be pretty wide. So we want to make sure we have a good bed depth. So coffee it's wide, it's deep enough. Once again, going back to this, that's what's so great. You can do small cups with this because it's so narrow. So I need to add. Should
I be hitting this?
Yeah, try it. I think it's cooled down enough.
Yeah, it's been 3. Let me take out the Zen.
Oh yeah, actually do it with it.
The whole minty flavor.
Yeah,
some ginger right now.
Yeah. Well,
bro, have you hit Kome's lunch at all?
No.
Oh my god, the lunch at Kome rules so hard.
Really?
Yeah, because you can get like a gyudon and like little 3 nigiri pieces and just be like, oh, that was a great lunch.
Oh wow, that's pretty fire.
I'm pretty sure you're probably locked in during lunchtime when you're in that area, but like
lunch is the busiest.
Yeah,
for us because people want to probably.
Whoa, that's wild.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's wild.
Dude, dark chocolate like straight up.
Yeah.
That is super dark chocolatey.
And what you'll know, so here's the cool thing about coffee, and I encourage everyone to do this at home. When you make a cup of coffee, let it sit for a few minutes, taste it, and then wait 3 more minutes and taste it again. You will fucking taste, excuse my French, you will fucking taste different flavors. That's what's so cool about coffee. As it cools, you will get different flavors. And so upfront dark chocolate. There's a lot of coffees I've tasted where, let's say upfront it's a lot of tangerine. And then that tangerine just goes away. And then I'm getting honey pastry only. I think that's what's so amazing.
Yeah.
Unlike wine where throughout the entire cup, or whiskey throughout the entire glass, no, it's the same. That's what you're getting. You might get different notes because you just picked them up, but they were never not there. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Is it listed in order, or is that just like...
No.
Okay.
Well, so some people have asked me this. I actually don't know if it's listed necessarily in order. Sometimes, I will be honest with you, and I've actually had this discussion with my employees. Sometimes I will look at it and go, this is in reverse order. Like, I got panela first, not raisin, or whatever. I also think it has a lot to do with your ability to taste, too, and how much you've been practicing. So that has a lot. I should have brought Another I should have brought. So I should. Damn, so many things I forgot. Next time, this should be next time. I'll bring this amazing coffee flavor wheel that I have.
Oh, sick.
Which you can go through and go, I'm getting this. I mean, it has it on the box, which is cool, so we're good. But I think it's helpful when it's a good way to test yourself is to blind do it. And so get your friend, if you have a homie that has some cool coffee, have him bring it over, like in a plastic tub or something, not even tell you what it is. And then he makes it for you, or they make it for you, excuse me. And then you have the coffee flavor wheel and you just go, fuck, what is this? Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same thing with like wine or anything else.
Yeah.
Oopsies. So what I'm using to grind this is a very kind of like famous, or I don't know if you call it famous, maybe like very popular, pretty famous, I guess, grinder. It's called the ZP6. It's by Espresso. And a lot of world champion like Brewers Cup nerds have used this. I love it, and I use it for pour over because it just makes, in my opinion, the very best pour over. A lot of people will use electric grinders, and they'll use like really good electric grinders for pour over at their shops. But I think there's just so much more to doing this. This exact grinder is what I use at the shop. I just love making pour over for people this way. I think it's the best way to do it, and I think it produces just the best coffee. And I think it's also like, it's kind of like an act of friendship, love, community every time you're using a hand grinder, because I'm fucking working for you, bro. Like you paid for it, but I'm working my ass off over here to give you a good cup of coffee. So smell this. This is a Bochesa Natural. This is Ethiopian. Insane, right? Yeah. And so what's great about this is a natural. That's a natural too. So both African coffees are right around this time. I've noticed this is when we start to get a lot of African coffees. So they're harvested earlier, but they all start to come out around this time. So I've got like 5 or 6 Ethiopian coffees right now at Kyoko Coffee that are so good. And this is one of them, but this is one of the fun ones, so that's why I brought it.
That was 20 grams?
22.
Okay.
And this is not like a normal tamp. It's like a, very cheap, like OXO tamp. Oh, sorry, I'm breaking my scale. But that's okay. I do, like, if you don't have an AeroPress and you were thinking about getting one, quite honestly, I think you should get this one instead. I think you should get this instead. I think it's better.
Yeah, I just lost my AeroPress, so I hadn't gotten a new one yet.
You should get this. You should get the OXO Rapid Brewer. Just for the ability to make soup is really, really cool, to be honest. Okay, so we tamp it, and then I'm using 2 filters on the top and the bottom. The reason why I'm doing that, and I know I've said ad nauseum, like I don't like to faff about, but with soup especially, the reason why it's called soup is because it basically looks like a slurry. It doesn't look cute, okay? It doesn't look great. It looks kind of gross, if I'm being honest, but the flavor is crazy. It's kind of a better version of a Spro, which is like a long espresso shot called a Spro, or a turbo shot. And so you do this, and then we're going to come up here and do this. This is the little oopsie-doozies. And I'm going to fill this up with water. This is such a fun contraption. Oh, let me heat it back up again. But what's cool is you basically, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to slowly depress, and I'm just going to barely get the coffee saturated. Kind of like a bloom in a way. I'm going to saturate the coffee. I'm going to wait about 10 seconds, and I'm going to go really, really hard, really, really fast.
Okay.
And it's basically like a turbo shot. And it produces this really fun, insanely tasty coffee. So I'm just going to use this to measure out the amount of water I put in. I think for this one, we'll do a long one. We'll fill it all the way up to this line here, which is maybe a little higher, which is about 80 milliliters of coffee. 80 grams. Mm-hmm. Hardly any, really. Mm-hmm. There we go. Okay. So
Tension is building.
I know, right? Well, we'll go all the way. Well, actually, we'll do, what is this, 160? No, 130. Okay, that's fine. That'll be fine. Okay. Okay. So then, it's a lot of fun. You can do it if you want to. If you're feeling jazzy. Okay. So, got to get some leverage. So we're going to slowly, we'll see probably a few drops come through. There it is. Just a few. Nothing too crazy. And then we'll release. Let the piston kind of fill back up again. And then like this. And it looks so goofy, I know.
Yeah.
But it makes a crazy, crazy coffee. Did we get it all through? We did. Oh my gosh. And look at that.
Oh shit.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
That's how you know it's done. Okay. So, not fun.
Yeah.
So, let me...
And that's just the pressure, basically?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the pressure and the heat.
Yeah.
This, it's a silly thing, but man, does it produce some crazy coffee. Mm-hmm. And so this is what like all of the nerds, who by the way have like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 espresso machines and $4,000 grinders, mm-hmm. and like those kind of folks.
Yeah.
They're using this to make, you know what I mean? Like, so this is very in the zeitgeist right now, I would say, of the coffee world. It's super weird, super fun, funky. So I put that there. And it creates this just like perfect little puck at the bottom, and you can just pull it out.
Nice.
Yeah. It's honestly super easy to clean too. Yeah. Another reason why the nerds love it. Okay. So I'm going to use this guy here. Let me actually just put a little hot water in both of these and swirl them around, just in case there's any dust or whatever. Okay. I mean, just look at it. It looks like soup, you know?
Yeah.
It looks ridiculous. So, but it tastes ridiculous too, in a good way. And so that's going to help cool it down as well. So you take that. Sorry, we're going to need that shirt again. Yeah. I'm just making such a mess over here. Coffee is a messy beast. Thanks, homie. Okay.
Ryan, did you want to try this one?
Yeah, you should definitely give it a shot.
That's the sake. I thought you were just drinking the dust water.
The hot water?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure it's there.
Mm-hmm. The espresso, that cools it down a large amount, right? Or no? Like the pushing it through.
It, well.
Like relative to like a pour over.
Probably it's losing some heat. The other thing too is it's it's going to lose some heat going, being pushed through. It's also going to lose some heat as it hits that. Like I didn't heat up. I mean, it's plastic, so plastic is better at heat retention. Mm-hmm. But it's probably going to lose a good amount of heat. It's definitely going to cool faster than the pour over. I think. I mean, just the nose is crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's wild, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, two fun ways to do it, I think. But honestly, at the end of the day, if you don't start off with a good coffee, none of this is fun. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's only as fun as the coffee. And once again, if we didn't have a good grinder, then it wouldn't taste good.
Yeah. What are the notes on this one meant to be?
Whoa. Jeez, that's crazy. That is like straight. No, I'm getting a lot more berry, honestly.
Yeah, I'm getting berry.
Yeah. That's so funny. So this is a great example. Mm-hmm. This is a great example.
Plum, maybe.
Plum, little bit. It's like, for me, it's like brambleberry. Mm-hmm. This is what's so crazy about coffee, right? People have tried this and cupped it and whatever, how many times? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And what are they getting? Yeah. Oh, plum and vanilla. Mm-hmm. And we just tried it, and I'm like, no, I'm getting berry. Yeah. But espresso soup is really good at giving you these intense flavors. And I don't understand the chemistry, the science behind it.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. People are just getting into it.
Yeah.
There's a really there's this really brilliant dude named Jonathan Gagne who does a bunch of coffee work. He did this book that I have, the physics of filter coffee, which is only about half of it I probably actually understand. It's really intense, it's like a textbook. But I'm gonna wait for that level of nerdery to come into it to explain to me why this is just such a flavor punch to the face.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's pretty phenomenal stuff.
That's awesome, man. Let's go deep a little bit into the shop, why you started it, how you got here, before we go to the private feed, because I want to get that exposure out there too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think it's such a cool setup that you have. And
thank you.
Another thing that's interesting going on is like you obviously know your coffee, but you also have like played around with so many different styles of lattes. Like,
yes.
I think one of the things that was really lacking in Austin was, I think you're the first person I had do like a really proper like espresso tonic or espresso plus like soda water kind of like soda. And that was something that I've had before, but I feel like didn't exist here. And you had like a yuzu one that was amazing.
Yes, yeah.
And so you're doing so much, and you have like these banana foam fucking lattes that are like outstanding. And it's not like a traditional coffee thing, but
thank you.
What was the vision? Like, why did you build this?
Yeah. Well, when I moved from Portland back to Texas, because I'm from Texas originally.
I noticed when you called, it was like,
Yeah, it's Denton.
Mm-hmm.
Denton is where I'm from, and I always kept that number. I was like, fuck it, I'm just keep it. It's just like let's rep my hood. So born and raised in Denton, Texas, which is north of Dallas. I left end of 2012, like beginning of 2013, and moved to Oakland. Spent time over there. Went to Japan for the first time in 2015 and fell in love and said, holy shit, this is it. Like, I loved it. Like I was in tech for like 15 years and I was a college dropout. And so, actually, I don't even know if you can consider me a college dropout, because I don't think 2 weeks of college really makes you a dropout.
It's more like
more of like a, it was like a trial.
A free trial.
A free trial.
Yeah.
And
Did you still have to pay tuition, or did you get that back?
It was a community college, so even lower stakes.
Yeah.
It really is just, school is not for me, like at all. I'm an autodidact. Anytime I've wanted to do anything, I've just taught myself how to do it anyways. And I just didn't see, I honestly thought school to me was like futile, like a giant waste of time. It's not for everyone. And for a lot of people, I think it's awesome and do it, and, no hate. For me, I thought it was a total fucking waste of time, and I'm glad I didn't go. But anyway, so I was in tech. My homie lived in Oakland. I was working at BlackBerry in Irving, Texas. Okay. Rep BlackBerry, old school. There was a giant layoff in 2012. They gave us a bunch of money and said, fuck off. And I was like, okay, there's really nothing for me here. A lot of my homies haven't left, but are about to leave, or not sure if they're going to stay. 2 really good homies in Oakland. Like, I'm just going to go. And so I moved to Oakland. I drove a U-Haul with all of my shit and my little brother, and we drove like, I don't ever remember how many hours is that? Like 18 straight hours or something. And we're just
go with more.
Probably more. We're just chain smoking the whole time. We arrived dead inside. It was totally crazy. Yeah. So anyway, it was a lot of fun. I lived there for 5 years. That's where I met my ex-wife. But very, very, very good because it was actually the best blessing of my life, because now I have my amazing son. Best thing that ever happened to me, not even close. And so that's amazing. But we went to, both of us, me and my ex, and our newborn, Ronan at the time, he was our newborn. Went to Japan in 2015. Thank you, bro. Yeah. Appreciate you. It's Gaelic, and it's also Japanese, but the Gaelic meaning of it is actually little seal, which is adorable.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. My ex is very Irish. Ironically, I thought I was very Irish.
Yeah, your name's Patrick. I can see, a little Irish in you.
Okay, wait a second, though. This is what's so fucking ironic. I am 0.8% Irish.
No way.
I did my fucking 23andMe. Yeah. I'm 0.8%
Ethiopians,
Irish.
The rest of it, or?
Actually, okay. I'm 0.8% Congolese and Angolan.
Let's go,
actually,
dude.
let's fucking go. But I'm mostly incredibly boring white. Thank you. It's just English, English 76% or something, and then like Scottish and Welsh make up the rest of it. But anyway, Ronan, we went 2015, and I was like, okay, I'm a dropout. I've only done tech my whole life. I'm an autodidact. I'm super interested in this. I'm going to learn Japanese. So I started taking lessons.
Yeah.
And now I speak Japanese.
That's fucking amazing. I'm just beginning the journey right now.
Oh, let's...
Yeah.
Kanpai.
Kanpai. Teach me some ways, bro.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing, you know, 一緒に会話大丈夫よ. So we can speak. It's all good. I honestly, like, the most important thing is speaking practice and being comfortable sounding like an idiot. Like, when folks from other countries come here, they are able to pick up English, or when Americans or other folks go to other places where English is not spoken very much, you're able to assimilate faster because you have to speak it.
Yeah.
And so you just really got to put yourself in a position where you have to speak it. So when I go to Japan, like this last time I took my kiddo to Japan, I try to get out of Tokyo as fast as I can. You know what I mean? And try to go out like north or south or southwest or whatever, and you know, just speak it, immerse. But anyway, two of my employees are Japanese, Amy and Aya. They're amazing. Love them to death. They're incredibly talented. Clara is learning Japanese, and I just hired someone amazing named Lindsay, who loves Japanese, is taking it again too. You don't have to know Japanese to work for me, just so everyone knows. I even, like, when I put out a job posting recently, I put it in bold, you know, plus if you have Japanese, and people were like, I don't have Japanese. I just said it was a plus. I didn't say you had to have it. But anyway, so yeah, I was like, okay, I'm going to learn Japanese. I don't have any school, like whatever. This is like, you know, kind of chip on my shoulder, like, fuck you, I can, you know, make this. So I started learning it, and I was in tech for so long, moved back to Austin after being in Portland for 5 years. And I was just like working at this tech company. I got laid off in 2024, and I had my van. I had my awesome van, Kyoko. And we had so much history, and I'm like, I'm not getting rid of it. I love coffee. I love Japan. I love Japanese. There's not enough Japanese stuff here. I want to add some value, if I can, even as like a boring white guy, to the culture here, and provide a place where people can come and speak Japanese and just vibe and have a good time. You don't have to speak Japanese with me, but like, come speak Japanese with me, you know, or whatever, if you want to. And I just missed a lot of those cultural kind of touchstones that are in the Bay and in the West Coast that we just don't have here. Yeah. It's growing so much, don't get me wrong. Like, not to sound like my cup is half empty or whatever. Like, but that was kind of the, yeah.
Dude, that's, I mean, I do agree that it's changing really fast, but that was the two hardest parts about
so good
Austin for me, is like, no surfing, and then
like, you're a surfer?
Yeah, and then super lack of Asian people. I grew up in Hawaii, so I grew up around like mostly Asian culture, and then also surfed.
I know.
But that's always been like the hardest part for me, just around. But like, we are adding new restaurants all the time. There's new stuff starting to happen. Yes. I've always had this like pipe dream, like when I get too stoned or something, where I'm like, dude, what if I could like take over the Crescent and do like a 1960s level like importing of Japanese people into Austin to like work there, and basically do like one, like what I thought was like one shop would be like super traditional, like fucking like donabe shop, and then the next one is like a fusion, like Mexican donabe fusion, so like, you get the Instagram followers, and you just have like every traditional style of food, and then next to it is like the fusion that'll get like the fucking the viralness. And then we like have such a big community of people that we can like create our own organic farm out there and like make our own fucking soybeans and shit, and like I just think that'd be shit, like just create a new Japantown just like right here in East Austin. It'd be so sick.
That would be really cool. I mean, I would love for, I mean, I just found this out recently. Indeed is owned by a Japanese conglomerate.
Really?
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
But it's funny, when I was in Fukuoka with my kiddo in November, I saw all these Indeed posters everywhere, like billboards, and I was like, the fuck? Indeed?
I've seen those in Japan too. That's fucking weird.
Okay.
That's true. Yeah.
I didn't know it was owned by a Japanese company. Yeah. So there you go.
That's also why when I see a bunch of Japanese businessmen here, they're usually here because they're going to Indeed too.
They are.
Yeah.
And I
thought it was so random. I was like, why are you here from Indeed? Yeah.
Yeah, so the Austin Japanese community, which is a good little community here, they will have people sometimes that come through, and it's a lot of folks, that are on work visas, maybe from Indeed. I've met a lot of cool people through that group, actually. But I think it is growing. It's definitely much smaller. I do feel like the Japanese community here, from what I've experienced, is a little bit more tight knit than in maybe Dallas or Houston, where it is so big.
Yeah.
I think it's similar to, from what I've heard, like San Antonio. San Antonio is pretty tight knit as well. I think it's because of the military, because there's like weird there's like a Japanese rubber company in San Antonio. It's just like weird stuff,
Yeah.
But so I feel you. Being on the West Coast, you are exposed to the best Chinese food and the best Filipino food and the best, Vietnamese food. And, like there was this, I was so spoiled for choice in Oakland. I still remember the amazing Cambodian restaurant that I would go to, Phnom Penh. It was amazing. Where are you, Phnom Penh? I miss you so much. You know what I mean? So stuff like that, I truly, truly miss. And I just wanted to try to add some value and then also do something that I love at the same time. Sometimes I do get a little imposter syndrome, but I think it's something that happens to all of us when you really love something and you're doing your best and you really care, you should have a little bit of the scaries inside.
For sure.
Am I doing it? You know what I mean? So
I have a theory around the difference between art and propaganda, and the difference for me is like more of an internal thing, and it's when you are like at the edge of your skis, like you're actually trying your hardest at the thing to like make it happen. That's like where you're creating art, and propaganda usually comes from like a place of repetition and scale.
Right on. Yeah, where you're trying to saturate your ideas for. That's so interesting. Yeah, I always think propaganda, it's almost like a dirty word, but all politics, in my opinion, to some extent, is propaganda. I guess it maybe depends on the worthiness of the message or the intent of the actions behind it, but maybe that's my cynical view of things, you know what I mean?
No, I think it definitely is. Like, even if you just think every politician goes and gives the same speech 1,000 times, and so like what do you actually, there's not like a creative act in that.
It's kind
maybe
of
the
gross
original
to me.
one, and it's super gross.
Yeah, and I think that was probably a lot of why Trump was so appealing, because the guy just
He was giving different speeches every time. He was switching it up midway through.
Do you think my ADHD is bad? Yeah, the guy's definitely on something.
Diet Coke.
Yeah, yeah, probably should be on Wegovy.
Shout out to my old employer.
Yeah, what a nutter, man.
I used to work for Big Pharma for Eli Lilly. That was the yeah.
Wow,
reference. Yeah,
back in the day.
Yeah. Cool. Let's move to the fucking private feed. Okay, where can people find you before we move into that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. At Kyoko Coffee on Instagram. I don't TikTok. I feel like it just doesn't make sense to me. I can't. I feel like it's too overstimulating, and I don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I did it a few times, and it just felt false to me. So forgive me. I don't. I try to stay out generally of the opinions world when it comes to. So I tend to stay away from X. So I'm kind of just on Instagram, and I have a website, and I just I want to bring people together with coffee. And then if you want to talk politics, we can talk about how everyone is way too crazy and that's totally fine. And we can keep it chill, but just Instagram.
Kyoko and what is like the drink that you're most excited about right now that you're making?
Well, I'm working on 2 drinks that are going to be coming out hopefully soon. But the ones that people come to me for, that people really, 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 really love, I should say I love all my children equally. But like I think like the 5 signature drinks I have are Tokyo Banana. Which
is amazing.
Thank you. I modeled that after the treat Tokyo Banana. Nice. That was my whole goal. And I feel like I did as the best I could. I feel like it tastes very similar to that, and that is fabulous with coffee or with matcha. And if we've been talking a lot of coffee, but I make a lot of matcha, so come try my matcha. I use Central Matcha, which is local, but obviously it's from Japan, sourced from Kagoshima. Bright, floral, absolutely delicious. so good. I sell the 10s too. So if you love matcha, you should definitely try theirs. But Tokyo Banana and then ube is definitely very popular. Probably besides Tokyo Banana, those are probably the two most popular flavors. So I make an ube matcha called ube cha and Kyoko Dreams of Ube. That was my first like OG.
Yeah.
Let's go. And that's so good. Cause of Death is my Thai coffee. Yeah. I called it the Cause of Death because once you order it, it will fuck you up. You'll never order anything else.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. I have so many people, they start off drinking ube. They just start off drinking Tokyo Banana. They get Cause of Death one time and they're like, you fucked me up, bro. Yeah, and they keep coming back, and it will be the cause of your death.
That's good to know because I haven't ordered that one because I get paranoid about shit. I'm like, what if I actually die from that?
Yeah.
But it's good to know that you're just going to love it so much. It'll be like your final drink.
Die from pleasure.
Yeah.
And then umami mocha. And that is, miso piloncillo and then umami mocha. So miso piloncillo, I use a really lovely shiro miso, which is white miso, which is a touch sweeter and less salty than a red miso. And I use piloncillo, and piloncillo is raw sugar cane. So before that sugar cane is turned into white sugar and molasses, it's piloncillo, so directly from it. So in different countries, it has different names. So for all of my Indian customers out there, it's called jaggery. It has, I think somebody told me in Puerto Rico, I believe they call it caño. It's called panela in, I believe, Colombia. So it just has a million names. But I mean, it's because it's the most ubiquitous thing ever. It's raw sugar cane. Wherever you grow sugar cane, it's going to have a different name, right? Yeah. So piloncillo, and then I turn that into a simple syrup, add the miso, and it's sweet and umami at the same time. So fucking good. Great, kind of with matcha or with coffee. Umami mocha is only with coffee. I don't like dark chocolate with matcha. I don't think it's good. And double bitter, not good. And so that is with I tried to use like the very, very best ingredient. So, and I make everything in house. So you're not going to come to me and get a vanilla latte because I don't do that shit. So that is with organic cold pressed cacao, shiitake mushroom powder, and white miso. And that's vegan. There's no dairy in that. And so is the miso piloncillo. Both so good. Rich, chocolatey, incredibly good for you too. Like very healthy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So those are the crackdown ones. I would say probably ube and banana are the ones that bring everyone in. Yeah. And then I think those are like the gateway drugs. But I haven't said this yet, but my goal is to be everyone's favorite drug dealer. And caffeine is a drug
for sure.
It's a hell of a drug.
100%.
And I'm here for it. Yeah. So come to me.
It's one of the greatest drugs on earth. Have you heard the theory? Okay, we'll move. You want to hear more about drug dealing and caffeine and hella shit? Go to skmp.supercast.com and we'll see you there. Thank you guys so much for your attention thus far.